One, two, 3, 4. Time to lock and load. Welcome to Gun Channel's Monday Night Lock and Load Show. Talk about guns, freedom, and the truth until dawn. And if the sky is falling, well, it may have appeared that way if you were invested in the Dow Jones Industrial Average today. We mostly talk about guns. We were talking about some stuff in the pre-chat with Patrick and his load for his AR. Before we get into that, I just wanted to say the Dow Jones had the biggest fall ever today. It was at one point it was down 1,600 points at the market lows. Of course, we're still up astronomically. The P&E ratios are still ridiculous. But to Dano's point on the gun channel side, okay, on Friday, if in case you didn't notice or slipped by you, the market also went down on Friday, about 665.75. So you're like 25 cents away from on Friday it falling down exactly 666. Now I'm an Old Testament guy. I'm not into the Book of Revelations, but some people that are, that probably won't slip by them either. But it's just that you have to think that the market is manipulated, because on Friday, usually when the Dow Jones and the stock market crashes, precious metals rise. But this just shows you how manipulated the markets are, because metals went down, and they're not in a bubble. They're just manipulated. Everything else is in a bubble. And all the numbers that you're hearing on the TV, they're all manipulated too. If they're controlled and manipulated for a reason. So basically, but today the Dow Jones went down 1,600 points at its low. So FOMO is long gone and FUD is just hitting for real. Doesn't mean people won't buy the dip. But the P&E ratios are ridiculous. So in case you don't know, FOMO is fear of missing out. And I don't think anybody has that particular fear today, unless you're a long-term, unless you always buy the dip and you just wait for days like today. But FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the thing is, because the markets are manipulated, the prices of silver and gold and everything else are manipulated, the interest rates are manipulated. You have to, the thing that I think doesn't just apply to this situation, but any situation, is you cannot let fear make your decisions for you. You have to make your own decisions based on your own logic and rationale for doing anything. When you let fear make your decisions, you're mostly going to make the wrong one. The market is manipulated to make you want to sell low and buy high. Fear of missing out. It's going up. It's going up. I got to buy them before or I'm going to miss out. You know. Now, if look at it, it's crashed 1,600 points. It's the biggest crash ever. I got to get out, or I'm going to get destroyed. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So they want you to sell low and buy high, which is usually a bad idea. So there's a link in the external. Mostly want to talk about guns. I was looking at some property up on the volcano on Saturday. I have some video to post of Black Sand Beach. Haven't uploaded it yet, but I will. And it's a beautiful place. I did look at the house we were talking about on the after chat in the jungle or in the forest or whatever. And if the house itself didn't have problems, I mean, the property was like, as soon as you drive in, you hear like 100 songbirds singing. Just if a hawk had flown overhead, it would have been perfect. Or a Hawaiian hawk called an oeo. But it was, I could just sit outside of that house and not even go in it and be happy. But as far as the house itself, it had issues that would have cost a lot of money. So probably going to be picking an offer. I looked at 3 homes. Only one of them had a septic system installed, so that's probably the one I'm going to make a contingent offer on if they want one. But I feel crazy buying a house in the middle of a stock market destruction. But hey, it has what I need has nothing to do with the stock market going up and down. So, and so I don't make my decisions based on the entire world crashing into a pool of fear from 1,000 feet into a bucket, diving off a cliff into a bucket. So whatever decisions you make, I hope you don't let fear make your decisions for you. So I hope that addressed Dano's question in the gunchannels.com/HPS side, where people talk about freedom, guns, and the truth until dawn almost every night at some point. So you can check that out. My text is on gunchannels.com/HPS. And it's just really good to be prepared, and not like your assets are not all in one basket. And although I think everything pretty much got crushed today, I think gold and silver went up a little, but not much, because everything is manipulated. And hey, when days like today, I usually like to pull out my gold and silver stash or all my ammo and just put it on the table outside and look at it, because it makes me feel good. You know, if you look at the Dow Jones, if you look at the business channels, and it's like panic, sheer panic. Oh, I see Patrick made it on. We were talking about your load and the twist rate on your AR, and Squib was saying he thought it was a hunting load. He's at work right now. I don't know if he can speak for himself, so I'll just kind of mention what he said.
Yeah, I was trying today to find some like a Full Metal Jacket 75 grainers, and I really can't find that anywhere. I was looking all over the place, and I don't know who makes them, if there's anybody, but I got a really fantastic group with that yesterday, and consistent. So I was overjoyed, because I was like, well, that search is done, Now I got to keep continuing on for other rifles, yeah, it would work for hunting. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that's what Squib was saying. It sounded like a hunting load. I'm trying to remember about the twist rates, but I'm not as much into reloading yet. After if I get out of my condo and into a home with a garage, which is what I hope to make it, trying to find out if the owner will take a contingent bid on it, for contingent upon me selling the condo. If there's a garage, then if I have any money left for a Dillon press, then I'll get into reloading. But
yeah, the only press I have is the RCBS Rock Chucker single stage, so it takes a long time, but you can really be precise with it. And I've got a RCBS electronic powder dispenser, and that saves a ton of time, because I was using my father-in-law's primary powder scale analog, the beam scale, and man, measuring all that out, trickling it down, took forever. And it was just like, I got to get something fast.
I got an earbud in, and I'm listening kind of underneath the machine, working on it right now, but I'm understanding everything you're saying. So Hawaii, if you do get into reloading, eventually it won't sound like a foreign language. You'll all be like, oh yeah. Patrick, did you watch the reload show on Caliber Corner on Saturday morning?
Yeah, I did. I was the one that asked a question about the compressed loads, and I was trying to send you guys a message, because you'd ask me a question back, and the internet connection at work was horrible, so I couldn't get it in fast enough.
Yeah, well, so far it's a foreign language to me, but it won't be for too long if the deal goes through and I can actually have a garage / man cave to do the reloading in. So
yeah, it doesn't take time. It doesn't take long to figure it out and learn. It's easy.
Hopefully, I won't have to blow up the house more than once.
I haven't done that yet. Thank God. That has yet to happen here at my house. So my wife will be mad at me if I do.
Yeah, I'll show pictures off air in the after chat of the house if you guys are still interested. I showed it to Squid before show, but I don't want to like give out the address on air and anything like that. But it's a nice place up on the volcano, and it has a septic system already installed. So it's like that's a huge project that is already done that I won't have to deal with. Because there's a new law that requires every home sold to have a septic system installed. So within 6 months after you buy it. So
yeah, then you get to have the honey truck come by every so often.
Well, it's a septic system. They don't. It depends how much how much crap you put in it as far as how often it has to be pumped out. So.
Oh yeah. We had one when I was a kid and living in Oklahoma, so I mean I know how they all are.
Yeah. So, but I like the neighborhood, and up on Volcano, there's like a military recreation area where like military people can stay for free with cabins and a pool, or veterans. And I think they have you have to make a booking appointment for it, but it doesn't cost anything. And for veterans and active military. And it's just a beautiful place. I think you guys will like the video of the beach, like a few minutes away down just down a volcano to the beach. It's this nice black sand beach, it's beautiful. Anyway, so I haven't done too much gun stuff other than just talking about guns because after I went looking for properties, I went to the Thai Bistro bar and had some curry, Thai curry, and a beer. To talk to some people about guns there, so, who are all interested. So it was funny, but it's some really nice restaurants up there, and it's very cool. It's a lot cooler up there. You don't need air conditioning at all. You need a fireplace for at night when it gets cold. So it's like about 4,000 feet elevation. And I'm looking forward to not having to pay for the electric bill for air conditioning. It'll just be way, way down compared to paying for air conditioning Kona to like not having to pay for air conditioning up in Volcano. So anyway, and it looks like I found a friend who has some 50 acres that we could go shooting on. I was invited to go up shooting there next time I'm up there, so I'll just do that. Oh, hey, Dusty made it. Alpha, you back from Florida yet? Give him a minute to get his mic working. I'll go check the external and the gun channels text chat really quick.
Hello.
Hey, Dusty, how are things going?
Oh, pretty good. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. No, I'm just curious. I didn't know if things was working or not. So.
Yeah, well, you're in Florida somewhere still, and you got a good internet connection, I'm guessing.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm still not home. I'm not sure when I'll get home again.
So how about if you just stay in Florida so you have a better internet connection?
Dano says 8 years ago, gold was 1,900. Well, U.S. dollars. So, basically what I said, Dusty, is that I don't know if you noticed that on Friday when the market went down 665.75, it was just like a few cents off of going down 666.
Oh, no. Of course, it went down big time today, too.
Yeah, but it wasn't 60. I mean, but it was like on Friday, what I was saying is that the gold and the silver and the stock market went down, and that just shows blatant manipulation for that to happen. Because usually when the market goes down like that, the precious metals go up. And when they both go down, that's just blatant manipulation. So, so basically the numbers you hear about are manipulated. It's just what isn't manipulated anymore. It's so you just have to deal with your perceptions of what reality is. You can't base them on things that you hear from the government or the media, and you can't. What I was saying earlier is that before you came on is that you can't make your decisions based on fear. You can't let the fear make your decision for you. Whether it's FOMO, there are two kinds: FOMO, fear of missing out when it's going up, and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt when it's crashes like today. So, it may seem a little strange for me to go making offers and getting a mortgage on a new house, making contingent offers and stuff on a property. But my decision to move out of the condo has nothing to do with whether the stock market goes up or down. So, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to tell Squib something. Hey, Squib, I found out the sub that my dad's brother was on that blew out of the water. It was the USS Trigger.
Trigger or triggerfish?
Same. It's the same, I think. Trigger.
Was that a Gato class?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Gato class was the World War II fleet subs, right?
Or was it it was H3 or 237 was its number.
Okay, it would be SS 237 then.
Yes.
All right. Squib's at work right now, so he can't look things up and.
Well, I had
submarine.
I had it earlier. I don't know if I could, but it was kind of neat. And there was actually a picture of my dad's brother on that website. It was, and I did it on my other computer this afternoon, but I was trying to think of, shoot, I'll find the website. Okay, now you can go on.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I was watching the repeat episodes of Fire and Ice about the Korean War on Military History Channel. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. The Gauntlet and just basically all the NATO, not NATO, not all the UN forces marching up to the Yalu River, stopping, looking over, and not realizing that there was 120,000 Chinese sneaking up on them. and they basically because the Chinese didn't have a conventional supply train. They carried everything on their backs. So it was just different how the Chinese military worked, and they had no idea they were coming. So until all hell broke loose, and then it's kind of obvious that you're surrounded by thousands of Chinese. It's hard not to notice when they're shooting at you and infiltrating your positions. But other than that, just basically that's what I watched when I got back from driving all the way up to Volcano. It was about an hour and 20-minute drive up there, but I stopped for 10, 15 minutes at the beach, Black Sand Beach. I haven't posted those pictures yet, but I will. Looked at 3 homes and stopped at the Thai bistro bar and had dinner and 1 beer, and then drove back. And so I was tired when I got back, but turned on the Military History Channel and fell asleep pretty much. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I watched the Puppy Bowl and the Dog Bowl.
Oh, I ended up watching the Super Bowl. We went to a party last night.
After all that stuff you were saying.
After all that, I ended up doing it. But we went to a party at some neighbor's house, and we had fun.
Don't you feel like you just had sex with a hooker or something? A
little bit. There, I posted in the side chat the website that I was reading. It's a tribute to it on one and Eternal Patrol.
Yeah, that's what all the subs that didn't come back from to the ports on Eternal Patrol. USS Trigger 237. All right. So I'll in the after chat I'll show you the property I'm looking at, making an offer on if they accept it.
Okay.
Contingent offer, but other than that, there's not too much going on. So let's see. Patrick was working on a load for his AR, and let me look at the YouTube side, see if anybody's out there. Just like Dano is the only person on Dano and me and Dusty are the only people on the gun channel side. Jesse James, New Throne Clay. New Throne Clay wants to move into a tiki hut on the beach. You know, there's people with tents that are. Well, I'll show you the video. I didn't take a picture of the people with the tents, but you're not allowed to squat there. But I think you can camp there for a night or something. You're supposed to have a permit, but YouTube is falling big today. Failing big. Jesse James 38 says. All right. Well, I'll New Throne Clay. Just check tonight. I'll try and get the video loaded up at the Black Sand Beach. It's pretty short. I just have to plug in my video camera and probably get the vibe. It's just Black Sand Beach, a bunch of tourists on it, and it's very beautiful. And there's all kinds of hiking and stuff around there. Oh, well, if you didn't get a notification the chat went live, you probably need to click the bell thing. But we don't always start on time, but we do. I try and keep the show going on every Monday, so everybody can get together and just catch up on what's been going on and what the latest Second Amendment issue is. Oh, I need to show you guys my Firearms Policy Coalition membership card. I got that a little bit of bling the other day, and I don't think I've shown it yet. It's in my wallet in the other room. I'll have to go get it. So yeah, I think you have to click the bell to get the notification. So if YouTube is failing, I think that the whole thing I don't know if that has anything to do with the demonetizing channels with less than 1,000 subs. I got over 900 subs. Went over 900 subs. The guy who has there were some girls on that beach too. Yeah, so actually the guy with the 50 acres told me to come down shooting. He was my 900th sub. So anyway, so yeah, Dusty, I got my where to go shooting up on the volcano when I move up there all figured out.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 50 acres should be enough.
Huh.
It's not as big as your farm, but I think it's big enough, especially since it's backed up against a forest reserve. So
yeah,
I could go for some long range shots and really work on it. That ought to be fun with the bolt action. I'm still polishing down the bolt on my CZ because the factory didn't polish it enough, and I don't want to send it back. And because the factory might look at the bolt and say, yeah, it sticks, we'll just send you a new rifle, and then I have to go through the whole wrap back list, which I don't want to pay the state $42 to be on their illegal list. They're not supposed to have. So if they want to put me on a list, let them pay for it. Is kind of my philosophy. Not planning on complying or buying any more guns until that law is overturned, or I don't think the knife will ever overturn it. It'll have to be like the Supreme Court or just the knife will have to be disbanded or assigned to Guam, and they'll have to have a new court take over for the states. But I don't know how things are going to go politically. I mean, they released the memo. I don't know if that had anything to do with the market falling on Friday, but it's like, I'm sure I'm getting sick of hearing about Russia and basically a nothing thing that nothing happened, and Schumer and Pelosi, it's like, and all the other Democrats are just, I don't know, they're the whole system, it seems like, just stuck in a rut of, like, they all drank the same stupid drink, and now they all have hung over with some kind of stupid disease or something. It's like, I don't know what the cure is. So, but I just like have to free my mind from all those problems and just go on with what I got to do and pay them no never mind. I guess that's all I can do. I've like joined, I think, every Second Amendment organization that I can, as far as that goes. I think I think I haven't joined the Second Amendment Foundation yet, but I'll have to get on that one. Basically what I was saying, Dusty, is on the new place, all I have to do is build a fence to keep her in the backyard, around the backyard, to keep a dog in, from getting into trouble, and chop down some invasive trees and put up some fruit trees instead.
Oh, well, that's easy enough.
Yeah, it sounds like something I could do. And basically, I looked at 3 homes, and the one with the one, there was only one of them that had a septic tank, and so that the septic system, and so that made the decision for me as far as which one to pick. You know, and so I'm just waiting to find out if they're going to take a contingent offer on me selling the condo, in which case I could move in pretty damn quick. So, and then I'll be up on the volcano instead of down in Kona, and it'll just be so much cooler up there because it's a lot cooler. It's at 4,000 feet, so it's not 90 degrees or something. All right, so what's happening in Florida, man?
Oh, not much. My mom's in a rehab facility right now.
A rehab facility? Okay.
Yeah,
that's hopeful.
Well, it is, but she, like I said, I think last night I told you she had two stents put in, and she still has one artery that's 70% blocked. But
that's 30% open. I know exactly how it feels.
And her heart efficiency is like 25%. So, but wow. She's starting to pick up a little bit of strength. As far as gone home, I'm not sure exactly. We have to, tomorrow, I need to work on setting up a plan B, because this rehab facility will reevaluate every week. And if she's not making improvements, then they will move her to another, they will move her out, or the Medicare will actually kick her out. Her Medicare will quit paying. And then she'll have to be in an assisted living or something like that.
Those aren't cheap neither.
I know it. I know. So, before I leave to go home, I have to do a plan B. So.
Yeah, so New Throne Clay, that the house that I'm looking to make a contingent offer on has electric, is hooked up to the electric grid, has cable and a phone line already hooked up to it. So, like I said, it's pretty much ready to move in, other than the garage door was like kicked in or something. I mean, there's a big dent on the bottom of it. Somebody like ran a bicycle into it or kicked it or something. But basically, it's almost like perfect, except, I mean, there's a crack in the garage floor, but both sides of the crack, I mean, it's on a volcano, so I'm not surprised. But they're both of the sides of the crack are at the exact same level. It's not like one is higher than the other. And I mean, it's just a garage. So, I mean, obviously it's contingent on a home inspection, but it's got a septic system in, it's hooked up to, so I will have internet up there. And because it's got cable TV, internet, electric, and a phone line. May actually even get a landline, just because, I mean, obviously when that shit hits the fan, the first thing to go down is the cell phone towers. So having a landline probably would be a good idea for backup. And I'll get a. The only thing that's propane in the house is the fireplace. In there, in the main living area, there's a propane fireplace. So basically, I can just rent a propane tank, and the company maintains it and keeps it filled. And if it gets rusty, they just swap it out with a different one. And it's only for the fireplace, so it's like whatever. And I'll get a barbecue for the backyard. Yeah, I saw some videos on YouTube of backfill, of fence post backfill. So basically, all I would need to put up a fence is just an auger for the post, a fence post auger, and some of that. It's like binary, like foam, and it comes with. It's like one bag, but there's a thing in the middle that separates it, and then you take the thing in the middle out, and then you mix it for like about a minute, and then you dump it into the hole with a fence post, and the foam just expands and hardens over time, and then you could put up all the rest of the fence after the posts are up. So it looks pretty easy to install a fence there. So, and again,
are you going to use a wooden post for the fence post, or are you going to use a steel post?
I haven't decided.
I will tell you from experience, the wooden ones will rot. I don't know. Well, I know in Texas and Oklahoma, they will rot within 5 to 6 years.
No matter how you treat them.
No matter what you do to it. And since you're going to be up on a volcano, if it's got a whole bunch of weather up there.
Oh, yeah, it rains a lot.
Yeah, get the steel. Get the galvanized steel. You'll be fine, man.
Galvanized steel. Well, yeah, basically it's just to keep the dog in. I mean, I don't want it to look like ugly or anything, but it's basically to keep the dog in the backyard so he doesn't get out and cause problems with neighbors and things.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like you'll use the galvanized steel post, and then you'll have like the regular wooden privacy fence.
So you're saying like wooden fencing, but the post should be galvanized steel. Okay.
Yeah, because those posts, when you concrete them in, oh God, it just rots and it.
Well, I wouldn't be using concrete again. I'd be using that fence post foam.
That must be something new. I've never used that.
Look it up on YouTube. Basically, it's like a binary foam in a bag, and you take out the little thing that keeps the one liquid from doing the other, and then you mix them, and then you just dump it into the hole where the fence post is sitting, and then it just expands around and hardens over time, and so it's easier than mixing concrete because it's just binary. You don't have to get the formula right, I've never mixed concrete, but I can do a binary. I mean, they make it so it's like idiot proof, but I'm sure maybe I'll manage to mess it up somehow. But
the last one I did with my dad was years and years ago. We used one of those quick setting concrete bags that you can get at Home Depot, and it was just literally you just add the water, and I'm not kidding. Within 10 minutes, that thing was hard. I was like, Jesus, we have to do this quicker because it sets quick, and that was 15 years ago. So I imagine it's definitely improved over time.
Yeah, I
definitely recommend those steel galvanized posts.
Okay. But the wood fencing can go bad too, but I guess that's easier to replace.
Oh yeah, that's much easier to replace because you're just putting up a 2x4 and then across going from post to post, and then your slats on it. I mean, you can do a steel post, a steel beam that goes across, a galvanized steel beam. I mean, but that way you won't have to replace as much wood, but I mean, it just gets more expensive. That's the only thing. And probably survive a hurricane better.
They make a fence post concrete that's not that hard. Well, the binary, you can see the binary. I looked it on YouTube, and it was basically just pull out the center divider, dividing the two different liquids in the bag, and then you mix it, then rip open the bag and dump it into the hole. And it was so simple. But I'll look at fence post concrete too.
And how far down can you dig before you hit rock.
Far enough. I mean, how basically just to keep a dog in. So how high does it? How far do I need to dig down? I mean,
At least 2 feet.
all right.
I
Well,
would think.
I'll get an auger. I'll get an auger.
Yeah, that's what we did.
And but I'll need a shovel anyway to post rails and picket. I'm gonna have to get a shovel to dig out the tree roots, because before I put up the fence, I'm gonna chop down the trees. I don't want to put up a fence and then chop down the tree and it falls right on the fence.
Better just buy a backhoe.
Yeah.
A backhoe, come on, that's gonna be a little too expensive. You're gonna have me have a combine, and it's only like a 20,000-foot lot or something like that. So, I mean, I want. Where am I gonna park a combine? I mean, well, I'll show it to you guys in the after chat. Is there anything happening on gun channels lately that anybody? You were talking about you guys were talking about the Caliber Corner show. Is that on Saturday?
Yeah, it's Saturday morning at about 7:30ish Central Time, and it's a good show. It's Travis's show, Travis P11, and I listen to it every morning at work because it only keeps me sane in the mornings. And yeah, it's a really good show. They talk about everything.
Okay, and so you got your reloading. I'm not putting up barbed wire, new thrown clay. I don't want to buy a dog and have him like run into barbed wire. I mean, come on now.
How about a hot wire?
Yeah, they'll keep him inside.
Well, I mean, yeah, so will an electric fence, but I'm not doing that. So, it's like a golf and country clubs area. So, other than the stray golfer or golf ball flying over, I don't think I have anything to worry about.
Well, you got any wild pigs running up on that mountain or anything?
On the mountain, yeah, but in the golf and country club, no. I looked at the forest house, and it was awesome, and yeah, there'd be hogs there that I have to deal with, but I'm not basically. I saw the mold inside that house, and it was just I'd have to completely tear out. And it was in the bedroom, right over the bed. It's like, okay, I'd have to tear out the entire ceiling. It needs a new roof anyway, and plus the cesspool is right under the house. So at least I think it was, and I'd have to put in a septic system and deal with digging out and pumping out the cesspool under the house. It's just too much work involved with that one. This one just needs a fence, and I have to chop down some trees. That's it, and that's nothing. I mean, I can do it. If I can do it, it's nothing. I'm not exactly I mean, I'm a retired foreign language dubber. I'm not like a blue hat union construction crew kind of a guy. But that's within my realm of stuff that I can do. I'll need a shovel to dig up the roots, I think. But I'm not gonna deal with a backhoe. And
Don't you have an AK?
Might need more than a shovel.
Just do it the Hickok 45 way.
well, yeah, I could just put in some binary and blow this tree stump out of there, but I think somebody would call the cops if I did that.
Private land, right?
Fire in the hole. Probably
Fire in the
I'd
hole.
blow up the tree. Did an attempt to blow up the tree. It would like ignite like the gases, the methane in the septic tank. Then the house would like tip over.
I know somebody that did something like that. He was trying to kill bees. He was trying to kill hornets. So he started pouring gasoline into the ground, and there's like a hole in his house or something. And I don't know if the pilot went out. I forget exactly how the sequence of events happened, but he ended up blowing up his house.
All right. Well, the
insurance
binary
company was pissed.
Oh yeah.
You're just standing there in front of his house, blowing up, saying it wasn't my fault.
The
Damn bees.
Maybe we ought to do a show on things not to do to this house. How not to blow up your house. Oh man.
Don't pour gasoline into the ground
Yeah.
next to your house.
Okay, I got it. No gasoline into the house. Yeah, because I got to figure there's methane like in the septic system. So if the septic tank blows up or something.
Yeah, he had like a gas boiler or something, and the pilot light was on, and the gas went into his basement and it caught the pilot light and blew the house up.
Yeah, the only thing that is on propane and there's no tank there right now is just the bar. It's just the fireplace, and
Nice.
everything else is electric. So
Is this that house that's like way around the other side of the island?
no, it's up on the volcano.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after the. Oh, hey, Jared, I didn't even know you came in.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll show you guys the house in the after chat. But I haven't heard. We have to hear to see if they're gonna accept a contingent offer based on the sale of my condo yet. So
Cool.
yeah, give it a day or two. So what's happening with you over there, Jared?
Nothing much. Just leaving Boston now. I'm going down. What do they always call it? Addict Lane or something? I forget what they call it. The heroin way, or I forget what they always call it. There's some funny jingle that sounds silly.
Junkie Alley.
Yeah, like Junkie Alley or something they call it. It's over by. It's on Massachusetts Ave in Boston.
Didn't they used to call places like that Tobacco Road?
I don't know.
That's something else.
Maybe it's something else. Sorry, it's right like near where the clinic is. And,
Well, I don't know where the clinic is, so you're not helping me. But
yeah, well, I mean, it's where a methadone clinic is. So it's like one of the major methadone clinics, I think. So everybody, after everybody gets out of the clinic, they take their cocktail, right before they go in or right after they come out, and then they're all, whoa, and, hey, let's hang out. Hey, you got $1? Everybody's hanging out, drugged out.
yeah, well,
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
If you didn't know, there's like some people who are on that type of methadone figured out if you take a bunch of different pills in a certain order, then you can get much higher, really high. So before they go in or after they come out for the methadone, they come out, as higher than they would be if they just did heroin.
What was that quote from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? I've never subscribed to the view that you could get higher without drugs than with them.
Great movie.
Yeah, that Fear and Loathing. I've got that DVD.
I was high the first time I watched it, so I was like, it was a really scary movie.
Well, I like the scene in the typewriter where with the whole thing about with the music where the young bloods comes in, fades in, and the whole he's typing his report up, and it's like we had all the part about the '60s and whatever we were doing was right. We had all the momentum. We were riding a very high and beautiful wave, and if you look back from Las Vegas to the right edge, you can almost see the high tide point where it all rolled back. And
didn't that guy blow his brains out because he didn't like George Bush Jr.?
I don't know why Hunter Thompson blew his brains out, but Johnny Depp didn't. So Johnny Depp played Hunter Thompson, but
In like 2005. And like
there's my phone ringing. I'm gonna have to turn it off. Call him back later.
In like 2005, he blew his head off, didn't he, or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, well, he was one crazy drug addict. So I mean, Anyway, I'm gonna grab my FPC card, and so I can really show you guys what it looks like, or anybody who doesn't have one yet, who hasn't joined the Firearm Policy Coalition. It's in my pants in the room. I'll be right back while I go get it.
Okay.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
So, Mr. Squibb, is he here tonight? I didn't get to see.
Yeah, he's here.
Anyways,
He was here.
He was
hey
here.
Patrick. Hey Dusty.
Hi. How you
Yeah,
doing,
I'm gonna
Jared?
be working out. I'm doing pretty good. I'm gonna try to do another video because there's some bills coming up here in Massachusetts. They got some more exciting bills. A couple of them are actually pretty cool. A couple of them are pro-gun to stop local municipalities from throwing gun laws in place. But one of them wants to limit the amount of guns you can buy per month. Shit like that. I'm still not sure how is that going to stop anybody? I don't really understand. One gun is enough to do anything. I mean, if you're worried about stopping these people, they talk about, Stephen Paddock had like 12 bump stocks or whatever. Like, who gives a shit? How many rifles did he actually get to use? I don't know. Like, that's the one thing that confuses me about that is why
Right.
someone would bring so many rifles somewhere. It's just insane. I don't know. Maybe the whole thing is so Hollywood. Like, I know I probably shouldn't be hashing it all up because I'm sure people are pretty much said and done with it and tired of the aftermath. But, it's such a Hollywood piece of bullshit. It makes no sense.
I would just like to know why the government isn't telling us a damn thing about any of that, what's happening. It's like 48
Well,
hours,
we got the
we knew
report.
everything about everybody, and now this is
You
all
got the
hush
report
hush.
now. They did the report. The report's been put out to the public on like what weapons were in there, what weapons weren't in there. We had it. RL, I think, sent it to us a couple of weeks ago on this show. I think it was this show.
Like, whatever happened
So they don't say what weapon he used, but they have the different weapons, but they don't. I don't remember if the report specifically said which weapons had bump stocks on them. And it doesn't really say which weapons. I don't believe it says which ones are semi-automatic and which ones. I don't remember if it got into the super nitty-gritty with that, but the report is out there. I mean, either way, it's like so insane. Like, oh yeah, you brought 12 guns up and had a car full of explosives and extra guns in the car. And it was like, wow. Was he worried that one of these? Go ahead.
So here is the that's a lot of car noise I'm hearing off you. Anyway, here's the Firearms Policy Coalition card. It's got a little AR on there and kind of American flag and FPC in gold over the stars. Jared, is that you making all that noise, or is that?
Yeah, you can mute me, but I ain't gonna be able to unmute.
Yeah, that is way too loud. Are you driving?
Yeah, I'm driving. I'll be out of the tunnel in like 2 minutes if you want to unmute me in like 3 minutes.
Okay, you got a deal. I'm going to mute you now and then unmute you in 2 minutes. If I can fit, if it's working. Jesus. It's not really working. Come on, man. How hard? YouTube can't do anything right today, I swear. There it is. All right, so let me display this again without all the car noise. Official member FPC. And I've also got my Florida carry card, but that's what the Firearms Policy Coalition card looks like. And they also send you a PVC patch and a couple stickers. And Florida carry card. They haven't sent me a new one. They auto renew you, so hopefully I'll be getting a new one soon. I talked to Sean about that, but I didn't have to do anything in 2017. They ought to renew me. They just sent me a card and billed me $20 or whatever it was. And that's the Florida Carry card looks like. And I've got an NRA card too. But anyway, so those are some good organizations to join. If you want to join the fight for Second Amendment freedom in America, that you can do. You can always go on Gun Channels, and I'm sure there'll be somebody there who can give you ideas on how to keep freedom alive in America. Besides drinking Jack and Coke, one every Monday night. Dr. Jack needs to do his work. All right. So Squib, I think we lost him to maybe he's going home from work or something. And Patrick is muted, and Dusty is just being quiet.
Yep.
All right. So did all the agriculture products go down too today?
I really haven't looked, to be honest with you.
Oh, you've already sold all your stuff?
No, but I have beans in the bin at home, but I'm not home to take care of them, so I've had other problems to deal with the last few days.
All right.
Let me see here. Where's Central States? Come on. Okay, here we go. We'll go to Bungie.
Okay, New Throne Clay, I apologize. I'm not in the Second Amendment. It just, hey, I have a whole life and stuff to do, but I'll get there. I'll get them all. I'll be on them all. I'm also have a GOA, but they don't give you a card, and it's very unless you like. There's some process where you can get a card, but it's not like easy. Usually, if you just pay your renewal, they don't send you a card. They just want to save the money for their lawyers or whatever they spend it on. So I think part of the whole thing with Second Amendment Foundation is that we just lost. I think when they lost the Peruta case and the Supreme Court didn't pick up, I was so depressed. I was like, oh, what's the point? But yeah, I'll sign up for the Second Amendment Foundation too. I mean, I've got like 4 things that I'm a member of: GOA, NRA, FPC, and Florida Carry. So yeah, okay, I can do one more. Well, Squibload says you can't pay your renewal in Bitcoin. Well, we'll see what you can do in cryptocurrencies, but
not much.
Well, if Amazon starts taking it, they're the world's largest retailer, and that is the rumor that is going to happen soon. So if the world's largest retailer starts taking Litecoin, then I'll be styling. I have a feeling, but we'll see what happens. I'm not in a rush. Time is on my side because I don't panic. Fear doesn't enter into my calculations no more. FUD or FOMO won't enter into my calculations on when to trade my cryptos for something valuable like gold or something physical like that. For now, it's just part of my portfolio, and it's like I'm fine with it as it is. I'm getting a little more every day from my mining contract with Genesis Mining and from Faucet Hub, and it's interesting. It's being manipulated just like everything else, just like the stock market is, just like soybean futures are on the COMEX, like silver and gold. Wow. And shouldn't be a surprise. Well, what you call excuses, I call that is the real world. The real world is manipulated. The stock market went down because of fear. People they want you to sell top.
No, stock market went down because of fundamentals. It's a little bit oversold.
Fundamentals. The P&E ratio is out of. It's insane. It's literally.
And they're talking interest. They're talking an interest increase, and actually,
there's so much debt on this planet. If they start increasing interest rates, the whole planet will implode.
But we're close to, the stock market was to the point of inflation almost. So the interest rates kind of need to go up. Believe it or not, interest rates aren't a bad thing.
Yeah, of course they need to go. They've been kept so artificially low for so many years that
it's hurt us.
The whole planet is $1.5 quadrillion in debt. What do you think is going to happen to all those shaky banks all over the world when they start jacking up the interest rates? Even more people will default on their loans, and I mean everybody is in debt, and if they start jacking up interest rates, the U.S. will just default on its, or if not the U.S., a lot of other countries will, and on their sovereign debt.
The other thing that happened today is we're facing another government shutdown.
Oh
yeah, all over the docket. Crap. I mean, it's politics. It's like I said, you just have to go on with your life, ignore the fear, ignore the stupidity, and because I'm telling you that everything is manipulated. It's not an excuse. The interest rates are artificially low. The debt the money printing is insane. The P&E ratios are insane, and they've printed all that money to keep the stock market inflated, and it's just. Trump is making all the right moves, but it's like throwing someone in the ocean with concrete shoes, and no matter what they do, they're gonna go down.
Yeah, personally, I think it needed to settle back a little bit.
Oh, it did need to settle back a little. It needs to settle back a lot. I mean, it's insane how high it is. The P&E ratios are at a record insane bubble. The stock market's
I
in a bubble.
I don't wipe out retirements totally.
What we want is irrelevant.
I know.
I don't never have that. Yeah, that's gonna be no Social Security for me, no retirement for me.
Yeah, you can figure on working until they punch you in the ground, pretty much.
Oh yeah. I'm 37, and shoot, our money was spent years ago.
You young whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel it. I feel a lot older.
37 is practically 40.
It just don't you think that the only way they could explain everything that's going wrong or about to go wrong with the economy is by starting a war and blaming it on a war?
Well, wars are good for economies, ours at least, but they're bad.
Well, they're bad for everybody that gets killed.
Yeah.
But they can't actually say it was their own fault for printing so much money and setting the interest rates for so low for so long and running up like $1.5 quadrillion worth of debt around the planet. I mean,
well, there's a simple solution to that. We don't pay anything back, and we just make everything in
a debt jubilee. That's what Salon did right after he banned armor in the ancient city state of. Salon was the chief archon of Athens in the ancient Greek city state of Athens, and that's what they based denying handgun permits on, carry permits on, in the Peruta case. And the Baker case was the Brady amicus brief that said, well, Salon banned armor. So they had to go back to Salon's law, and Salon lived, and I think I've talked about this before on my show. In the Battle of Thermopylae was 490 before Christ, BC, 490 BC, and Salon was 200 years before that. So you're talking 700 BC. That's how far back in time they had to go to find a precedent to not issue carry permits to people in California. It's insane.
I mean, said that's irrelevant.
Well, but this Ninth Circuit Court,
when nobody even had an idea of what a firearm was, or I mean anything like that. It's like
they had armor. They had armor. I know. It was what happened was, since you brought up the debt jubilee, is what it's called. Is before right after he banned armor, it was what happened was he told his friends in Athens that he was going to declare a debt jubilee. So naturally, they ran up so much debt, they just borrowed as much money as they possibly could, and then he was the chief judge, called the Archon, and the chief Archon, and he said, okay, there's a debt jubilee, and then he left. And then it was utter chaos. And so obviously, if you declare that all debts, including the United States sovereign debt, are just forgiven and I mean, that could start a war all in itself, just by, like, China has a lot of treasury bonds and they'll be upset, and anybody who has T-bills will be upset, and it'll be a mess if they declare a debt jubilee. It's like, it's not just you and your credit cards, it's like entire countries. But I don't know how. There's so many banks that are about to just crumble and are only being held up by central banking systems. It's worth thinking about being prepared for that happening.
But isn't that all Bill Clinton's fault when he made all the banks give everybody home loans?
It's not all Bill Clinton's fault. It's been going on. I mean, how far do you want to go back? I mean,
well, I mean, you know, how the old term is, it's all Bush's fault. We'll just blame Bill. You know, let's start that trend.
I'm thinking what they're going to do is start a war with Korea and blame Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, but that goes back to Clinton then, right? Because we gave him the reactors.
They could blame Clinton if they want. It won't matter who they blame if World War III starts.
And then we can always say we're going back over there to go get our reactors. We're just repossessing them because he never paid us back for them. So
we're going back there to get a better. We want to just look over the Yalu River one more time. That's all. That's nothing. You just want to look one more time over the view into Manchuria from the Yalu River from North Korea. All we have to do is overrun Pyongyang again, which we did before. And hopefully this time China won't send 500,000 soldiers to fight the 8th Army. Again. Where's the line I'm looking for? Oh, here it is.
We'll just send over a bunch of corporal.
So there you go.
Hey, guys, I'm going to leave for a while. I'll be back later, okay?
All right, Dusty. Yeah, I want to show you the property.
I'd like to see the property you're looking at. So, but I got to call home to my wife for a while. So we'll talk to you later.
All right. Good luck with your wife.
All right.
Yeah, mine just got home. She's like, "What are you doing in the garage?" Talking with my friends.
Well, I got to do a show every Monday, I guess, for Gun Channels for the glory of internet or something. I don't know. It's like a snowball that started rolling downhill a few years ago, and it just keeps on rolling, I guess. So what kind of prepping do you do over there?
Me? I've tried to get my wife and I to get her to kind of like help buy some things, and like say, the not MREs, but the meals ready to eat that you can buy, like Bass Pro, Cabela's, and all that, or canned foods and rice and all that. She's like, "Oh, we're never gonna need that lady."
I hope not. I hope she's right, but what about else? Are you into you have any precious metals? I know you have ammo and stuff, but
yeah, I got that. Building that up. No, unfortunately, no gold, silver, none of that. I mean, they'd be nice. I mean, heck,
yeah,
we've got the ability to do it, but it's getting her to kind of get into something like that. It's difficult, but she doesn't ever take my word for it. She's always got to hear it from somebody else.
That's family. That's family for you.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. But
yeah,
I was an Eagle Scout, so I mean, I know how to live out in the boonies with almost next to nothing.
I think it takes more planning the bigger your family is.
It does. Yeah, like I said, I got a 4-year-old. My mom's living in our house now because she can't live on her own anymore, and and I got 2 dogs. So it's like Jesus, if the shit really hit the fan, I'm gonna have to fight my way up to the Walmart and with my ARs and my one of my pistols and steal everything off the shelf like everybody else is doing.
I hope you make it there fast enough.
Yeah, and in my vehicle, I have a Jeep. It's slower as molasses, so yeah, I'll be like one of the last ones there.
Well, then your probably best strategy is to just hide in the bushes and ambush people on the way back from Walmart.
Right? See, I can sit on the top of the roof of the house, and then just if I ever get that 308 load dialed in, I can hit them down at the intersection.
You see, I'm not the only one with the whole set on the roof theory.
Right?
Well, I really don't want to sit on a roof and pick people off. I don't know about you guys, but
no. We're just hitting the vehicle. They'll run away from when their vehicle dies. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other story we were talking about last week.
Mad Max.
Yeah. Well, I think I've got like my food situation handled, but I don't have a whole family to provide for, so I'm good to go for.
Now there is
I would say 4 or 5 months. Beyond that, I'd have to secure sources of food.
If it really got bad and I did need food, I tell you what I would do is across the highway, across the road, there's a rancher with cattle, and yeah, I'd be going over there getting his cattle.
Good news about the house I'm looking at. It's right next to the Volcano Winery, the vineyards. So in the emergency, I could just break in and take all the wine I need, and then trade that for food I need.
Well, I mean, you can also drink it too. Just like they did in the old days.
Well,
it's water.
If I'm drunk, then I'll the whole time. If I'm drink myself,
well, you don't get plastered.
Well, I won't be very effective at guarding. Somebody will just sneak up on me, and that'll be it.
That's what your dog. You said you got a dog, so that's what your dog's for.
Yeah, no matter how drunk I am, the dog barks, and I just start shooting.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna have to pick a very good dog for that. I haven't decided. I'd be better off with the dog that doesn't shed because it's less stuff to clean. But I'll just go to the, the animal shelter, and I'll probably pick the first dog that smiles at me.
I've got a Mastiff mix, and he's a big baby, but he is so good. He just tackles me every time I come in the door.
Well, the main thing I need a dog for is to keep my blood pressure down, because when you pet a dog, it releases a chemical in the human and in the dog body that naturally lowers your blood pressure. So that's the main reason I have a dog, and to make me go for a walk every morning. Like around the block or up and down the golf course before it opens. There's an 18-hole golf course. I could walk the 18 holes in the morning before the golf course opens, I think. So it looked that way to me when I drove by. A dog can come in handy. You don't have to have it trained to attack or anything. But if you got a Rottweiler,
Well, you don't even have to train them to attack, because if you just love them and be nice to them, they usually will be pretty.
Well, Rottweilers can attack. I'm not putting anything on the breed or anything, but they're babies. To you, they're a baby. To a stranger walking by with a small dog, they're a mortal threat.
Oh yeah. Nobody messes with me when we're walking Milo down the street. There's like, oh my god, dog is big.
Yeah, and so, but yeah,
pounds.
Yeah, how much? I was going to ask you how much. How is your backyard big enough to? I mean, how big do you think your bed?
You know, all the lots here in especially North Texas, they're all like quarter-acre lots. So, you know, we were lucky when we bought the house. It's actually a little bit bigger than a quarter of an acre, and I've got nobody behind me. There's just a green belt of trees behind me and a runoff.
Yeah, I'm thinking I can't get that big of a dog. Jesus, my phone keeps going off. Sorry, guys. One second, I'll be right back. Hello.
It's a stockbroker, probably about Bitcoin.
It's crashing. It's crashing. Sell, sell, sell.
So I was trying to wrap up some work on a couple machines and then just take my lunch break and go on the show. And I was doing inspections. And one of the things you have to do when you do the inspections, you have to unplug a sensor and make the machine go into alarm, fool it, and then put it in standby mode, reconnect the sensor, turn it back on, make sure it runs, clears the alarm, blah, 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 blah. So I've got like 7 of these machines in a row. When I get down to the last 3, 2 of them are already in alarm, and I haven't done anything to them yet. So I had to go check with the process guy to find out if there was anything going on before I shut these things down to work on them. And then, you know, he said, no, everything's good. Just go ahead. And I said, I'll have them back up and running. Don't worry. I get the one running. I try to get the other one running. Get the alarms cleared, cycle it, make sure it's all good. Sensors are back in. Everything's good. All right, great. Sign off on my paperwork. Inspection's done. Everything passed the inspection. I go down to the machines to go see if the plastic is loading into the machines. You check every 2 hours to make sure that it's feeding. It gets its plastic in these pellets from a central location, sends them down these vacuum lines into the machines. I'm noticing the machine is about empty. The sensor is on that says it's empty. It keeps opening and closing the valve to suck in plastic pellets, and it's not sucking anything in. So I backtrack, and one of the 2 that I was supposed to test that was already an alarm, it's showing everything's working and running, but there's no plastic coming out of it. I'm checking the electrical. I'm pretty sure that somehow or another the plastic inside of it gummed up and hardened into a brick, and it's pretty much plugged up, like constipated, and can't feed. So the machine starts going into alarm at that point. The process guy's running down to find out, and I'm yelling at him going, it's not feeding. So at that point, I just hit the little red button and got out of the hangout. I had to text my boss at home and let him know everything that's going on. And fortunately, there's only one machine running that plastic tonight and all day tomorrow. And fortunately, they ran out of packaging for the car parts that it was making anyhow. So they were going to shut it down anyhow. But that being said, it's still like, are you kidding me? Out of all the, and I know what they're going to say tomorrow. They're going to say, well, you were running an inspection on the feeder. You must have broke it. And I'm
okay. It was not my broker.
So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
so
you were the last one to touch it, Squib. It's your fault. You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where you can put the thing in standby or even turn it off for quite a while before it'll create a problem. I had it in standby for probably about 7 minutes. That's not long enough to cause the problem. And they had this problem a couple weeks ago where one of them just plugged up. And I'm thinking that's what it is. The thing is, in order to unplug it, you have to pull a box that's about 4 by 4 by 4 full of plastic pellets out. You actually have to vacuum it out through the top and put it into a big box. And then you have to take apart the entire bottom and chisel this stuff out. It's like concrete. So So my boss is saying, no, leave it in standby. We'll deal with it tomorrow. And I'm thinking, this just isn't going to go well. I know I'm going to come. I'm either going to catch shit, which is fine. I can deal with that. But I just.
All right. Well, Squib, it was just my doctor's office telling me all my cholesterol tests everything was normal. All my tests were normal. Normal PSA, normal cholesterol, everything's fine. So it wasn't my
good.
Bitcoin.
It wasn't your Bitcoin.
It wasn't my Bitcoin. It wasn't the stock market broker with a margin call or anything like that.
Okay, well, you better leave your phone charged because you never know when you're going to get that call, man.
Well, I'm not on margin. So I don't own anything on margin. So I'm never going to get that call. And I definitely would advise anybody not to own anything on margin.
And hey, Squib, I wasn't being serious. Like, with not saying it was just, you're the last guy to touch it.
Oh,
It was just
yeah, but you know how it is.
Yeah, the car business. It's like, well, you worked on it last. It's got to be your fault. It's like
these guys are telling me that the larger machines can be down for like an hour and a half before it starts to be a problem, and then smaller machines can be down for. Well, they haven't really said how long, but they didn't say, oh, make sure you have it back on in 10 minutes. The large ones can be down for 90 minutes before it starts to be a problem. I'm sure that the smaller ones can be down 7. So I'm thinking it wasn't me, but yeah, I'm probably going to get, oh, well, who cares? Whatever.
Now, one thing, is there, is where the plastic's coming from, like a storage tank? Is it full?
Yeah, the storage tank's full, and what you actually have to do is you have to take a big cardboard box that's 4x4x4, and you put a giant clear plastic bag in there. Then you take a vacuum with a long pipe on it, and you pump everything out of the top into this box. Well, they've got boxes out there, but they have none of the gigantic plastic bags that line them, so you can't just dump the pellets in there. So I don't even have a way. I don't know how to vacuum it out because I haven't learned how to do that at this place yet. This is a new job. So even if I did know how, I don't even have the stuff to do it. I don't know how the guys are going to do it tomorrow if there aren't any bags to put this stuff in. And it's kind of like, especially because I'm the new guy, they're definitely going to point the finger at me. It's like, oh, well, whatever. That's what I thought. I thought about just getting a couple 55-gallon brutes and some trash bags and just doing it like that. But my boss said, just leave the machine to standby. We'll deal with it tomorrow. So it's like, okay. So
Union guys, right?
No, we're not union, but yeah, it's just so that's why I had to drop out of the hangout. So
well, I would do what they say and then just prepare.
yeah, I mean, if I just catch some shit over, they just start giving me a hard time. That's fine. We're guys. We do that. Yeah. Especially blue collar. We do that. But if it's kind of like, I told them once before because they were like, you've got to be careful about doing this repair because if you screwed up this tool, it's $15,000.
So have you did you blow up the factory yet or something? Is that
No. But they were like, this tool's like $15,000. I said, yeah, and is it part of my job to fix it? Yes, it is. Okay, then what's the big deal? Well, if you break it, you might get fired. I go, if you guys are going to fire me over a simple mistake that I make while fixing a $15,000 tool that is my responsibility to fix, I didn't need this job to begin with. And they go, but it's $15,000. I'm going, yeah, so what?
Yeah, that's normal. I mean, you respond. It's that's just part of the job. I mean, it's like when I did.
It's not that I go around breaking $100,000 things, but.
Yeah, well, if I was late on a delivery deadline for one of my film mixes, then they would lose an airline or whatever the contract was. That there was like millions of dollars at stake that depended on me delivering on time and on target when I was supposed to deliver the mix. It had to be delivered on time. That's why I never slept. I was on coffee, espresso shots, and uptime pills because if I would dub all day and mix all night.
Well, I told them, I go, look, if I'm doing a repair and I make a simple mistake, an honest mistake, that's one thing. If I just start taking a hammer and start getting mad and just beating the crap out of this thing, then yes, fire me. But if it's my job to fix it, and they're going, but it's $15,000, and I'm going, yeah, and it's like, well, I keep talking to these guys, and the numbers that they're throwing at me is nothing compared to where I used to work. So I'm really having a hard time adjusting where they're just going, oh, this, that, and the other, and I'm going, yeah, and I'm going. You know, they're talking about how much money the whole company might make this year, and I'm going, one of the factories at the company I worked at made that much. And we had, I don't know how many different, we had like 130 factories. So
what you should tell them, Squib, is as the last job I worked at, they spend that much on donuts.
Yeah.
And I did tell them, hey, I used to load bombs in aircraft, and if something went wrong, the bomb would drop, the plane would blow up, and that's several $1 million. So this is like, it's a very small. It doesn't worry me. Yeah, it's like nothing. It's just like if accidents happen, you've got insurance. Whatever happens. Yeah, accidents.
We're human.
Yeah, I mean, but my problem was I wasn't allowed to fall asleep. I used to basically take uptime pills and coffee and special shots to stay awake, and now I have to take medication to fall asleep now. So.
Oh, I don't have to have that problem. Jeez, I can fall asleep easy.
Yeah, well, I need like trazodone. So.
Well, I don't have that issue here. At my last job, I had to stay till the work got done. So if I worked 8 hours or I worked 18 hours, it didn't make a difference. Here, at 8 hours, they want you to leave, so I have to pass it on to the next guy, and I don't feel good about that. I definitely don't. But I'm not. But just some of the little things, and the oh, don't do this, don't do that. Oh, but this and that is okay. Well, yeah, and it's just I'm still having trouble adjusting to it. And that sort of thing. So, I mean, like I said, if I catch crap tomorrow, I catch crap. But, I mean, if they start pointing a finger going, you did this. Okay, this is the way you guys told me how to fix a machine or test a machine. So tell me what I did that you didn't say was okay. So I'll just wait till tomorrow and find out. I'm not that worried about it. But I don't want to intentionally – I don't have any, like, let me sabotage the stuff. If we were a union shop, yeah, union shops do that all the time. They sabotage stuff. But I'm not here to sabotage. I don't want to make more work for myself or the other guys.
All right, I want to say hello to Raphael on the Gun Channel side. So it sounds like, I don't know why they're getting all worried about a $15,000 piece of machinery. It needs to be maintained. It's your job to keep it maintained. What's the problem?
It's $15,000.
Just tell my last job they spent that much on donuts. So they've got insurance. The business has insurance. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
that's what insurance is for, in case an accident happens.
The scan tool at BMW was $90,000 just to talk to the car. Oil-filled equipment. Jesus God, you're talking about tens of millions of dollars worth of equipment.
Yeah, what you do is you just take out a credit card and wave it in their face and say, this credit card has a $20,000 limit, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, right.
So if the machine goes wrong, I'll just put it on the credit card until your insurance company reimburses me plus interest. Or something like that. It's just it's just like my last job, they spent that much on donuts, or I have more than that in silver in my house or something. Or tell them what you should tell them your money's a lot safer in this machine than if it was like in the stock market. Yeah. You really want to put it at risk by the Dow Jones average. Anyway,
I'm working on my lunch break to try to get caught up, and I'm driving the forklift and dumping the trash, and he came out here to tell me that another machine is shut down, and I've got to try to go in there and fix it, and it's the same problem, and there is no fix for it. Yeah, I'm probably going to get fired tomorrow.
Welcome, please. Just blame it on my show. Blame it on Lock and Load.
Nah, it ain't worth stressing out over.
All right.
It sounds like he's just driving that forklift through the shop doors. Like, can't you screw this?
He's gonna use like the forks to as to spear the management people.
It's fixed.
You drive it through the front office is when.
Yeah.
or no, better get the executive parking lot. Like pick up their cars and flip them over with the forklift.
They don't have an executive parking lot. They don't understand what that is.
Well, tell them they need to hire somebody that knows that $15,000 for a machine is not something to worry about.
If we were a union shop, I could tell them, guys, I don't care that the machine's broken. I'm on my lunch break, but I'm working through my lunch break. And they're not going to pay me for it. And they don't care that I'm working through my lunch break. I'm trying to do the right thing here, but I'm getting irritated. Yeah. I'm getting irritated real fast.
Well, no, but you shouldn't be working through your lunch break because you're a human being and you need, energy so you can do the job properly.
Yes, that's not how corporate America works. They want you to work, and eat while you're working. You don't get to stop.
In corporate America,
I'm fine with doing what it takes to get the job done, guys. It's just the whole.
Yeah, but you're not like charging a hill or anything. You should be able to have a lunch break because you're a human being. That's all.
Well, yeah. In a perfect world, but hey, your job still needs to get done right now. So come on.
And my job needed to get done too, but we took a lunch break, and that was like sacrosanct because that was the only human right that we had was a lunch break as a dubber. Other than that, you got worked like a slave. But the lunch break was like the one thing that it wasn't written down, but it was like everybody took the lunch break. And
well, see, here in Texas, the Fair Standards and Wage Act is what the state of Texas goes by for lunches. So if you go, they're not required to give you a lunch. They're really actually only required to give you like 2 15-minute breaks the entire damn day. But if you take your lunch and you do any work during your lunch break, they're required to pay you for that. Well,
right. Well, nobody paid anybody anything extra for taking a lunch break or not taking a lunch break. But basically, it was like the directors were like Hitler and Mussolini, and basically at 12 o'clock, everybody took a lunch break no matter what the fuck they said. Well,
it's because they wanted. But see, like here where I work, I'm allowed to work through lunch, but I have to punch out for like 10, 15 minutes. And if I don't, and I work straight through without punching out, they will take an hour out of my pay and dock me for it, even though I worked.
Yeah, they do that here. They don't give you that option. It's kind of crap. Guys, I got to drop out of the hangout again. I don't know what's gonna happen.
All right, go do your job, Squib, and get some lunch.
Yeah, get that. I'm thinking about that hammer. I tell you. Talk to you guys later.
Aloha. Take it easy, brother. All right, man. So I think unless there's any questions in the external or on the gun channel side, we're probably gonna wrap this and go to the after chat so I can show everybody the property I was looking at in the after chat. If you're on the gun channel side, the link was posted. If you want to come on in, Raphael, I'll post the link one more time. You can check out the house I'm looking at. All right. So this is Hawaii Volcano Squad from Pineapple Pentagon on the Big Island. Keep your groups tight. Fight the good fight. We'll see you next week.
Later.